Alright, does that work? We're gonna go here for now. Until we can get everything figured out with the other mic. Thank you so much, Trish. I really appreciate you giving me that heads up. Because that is all sorts of embarrassing. If you can't tell, I'm still a little new to this, so I really do appreciate you giving me a heads up on things like that, because it's stuff you don't usually think about. How are you, Trish? Where are you from? Oh, you're down in Australia. I've got a few friends in Australia. Sometimes I play with one of my buddies on his Minecraft server, and he is just loads of fun. I call him Lucky because I play a Star Wars role-playing game with him, and his character name is Sergeant Lucky, but his name's Chris. Great guy. And I love my friends down in Australia, and I really appreciate you taking some time to watch an idiot American play a few games. So have you ever played this game before, Trish? Oh, 300 hours in it. That is awesome. Someday, I may too have a lot of hours in this game. Right now, I'm still a huge noob at it, but I gotta say, it's definitely worth playing. If anybody out there is wondering, super fun game. I'm not gonna lie, my shtick right now is kind of the fact that I'm a complete trash gamer, because I haven't gamed in a long time because kids. My son's old enough now where he actually plays with me a little bit, and my wife and I are just getting back into games. And I decided to share my journey, so I'm really glad you came here and joined me. It's always a lot more fun when you got somebody on chat with you. So I definitely appreciate you stopping by and talking. And thanks again so much for giving me the heads up that my mic wasn't working, because that's pretty darn embarrassing when you're trying to do a stream. So Trish, do you usually do purely like survival games? Did you get into this game because you like Minecraft and things like that, or what actually got you into Astroneers? I completely agree. The design around this game is so cool. I love the artwork behind it. A buddy of mine is actually a video game artist for a company, and he does some work on some pretty fun stuff. And I always really appreciate the art design that they do with things. And you're right. The way this thing clicks together is ridiculous. Everything it makes sense. And even though there's not really necessarily a point that I found yet, as somebody who's played quite a bit more than me, you may have a little more insight on endgame, things like that, or where you go from here, things like that. But I just love everything they're doing with this, where you're just trying to go through and, man, more compound. Always compound and resin. I love having it to start off, but it gets a little frustrating as you go through. I'm sure you know about this, Trish, where it just gets a little frustrating as you're trying to figure out, okay, what's my next step? I need to build some more things now, and all of a sudden you're sitting here on the most useless resources after the start of the game. What other games are you into, Trish? Do you play a little bit of everything? Do you like hop from this to first person shooter to just about everything, or do you have like a specific game style of this survival type of stuff? Lots of VR stuff. Which VR stuff? I've actually got. Don't mind me rummaging through my ugly desk. I do have an Oculus Quest. So far, I've only played a few games on it. I've had a lot of fun with some golf games. I do like golf in real life as well. And then also, I forgot the name of it, but there's this game where you're like a Nordic god. You get to have some beer with Loki and hang out. It's just a really good time. And that's one of those games where it just impressed me when I started playing it. And I felt like that's what VR should be. I'm interested to see what they're going to do as they try to move more into the metaverse. I don't know about you, but I love anime as well, and Sword Art Online is one of my favorites. And I would love to see them get a little more of like an MMO style, you're living a different life in VR. I think that'd be a whole lot of fun. Do you have any recommendations on VR games that I should be getting into? Rec Room. I'm gonna have to check that one out and take a look. If you don't mind, feel free to PM me on here. Let me know your username. I always love finding more people to game with. Side Quest. I'm gonna have to check that one out too. I don't know Side Quest, and I'm still pretty new to VR, so I'm not quite there yet, but it sounds like you know what's up, so I'm going to take your advice on some of these things and take a look. Let's do sideload games onto your Quest. What? Like, I gotta know, what does that even mean? So, like, can I, like, if I was sitting here playing this game, could I create a quest based on this game to sideload onto that game? right, all right. So you're talking about like, I get what you mean on that. So you're talking about like going into an API and loading up a side app that isn't necessarily made for that device. Is that what you're talking about with that? An alternative game store. Oh, that is awesome. That sounds like a really good time. So, Trish, do you stream at all? Because if you do, definitely throw it out there on here. People tend to watch like the day after, things like that a lot. So feel free to mention your stream if you've got one. I'd love you to get some more visual on here, because it sounds like you got a good thing going with VR. It's something that I want to get into a little bit more, but I mean the whole streaming aspect of it is a little foreign to me still, and even just using it in general is a little foreign still. You never stream. Hey, that's all right. Not everybody has to stream. This is actually something I thought streaming was kind of weird for the longest time. This is something I got into specifically for some personal development. Frankly, I hate the sound of my voice on a recording, and I don't like myself on camera. So this is a little bit of personal growth for me to get rid of some of the things that hold me back in life. I don't know if you ever feel that way, but I have some major issues when it comes to the way that I feel about myself. Yeah, I did know that I could do that. I've actually I've used it with Star Wars. Geez, I can't even think right now. I ended up doing it with Star Wars Squadrons. If you haven't tried that yet, I don't know if you've got it, but Squadrons lets you fly different Star Wars ships, and I have been having an absolute blast with it. It is ridiculous. So, in Squadrons, I had a lot of fun before I hooked it up to VR, but once you get into VR, you're actually sitting in the cockpit of these different Star Wars vehicles, and it is otherworldly. It is so much fun. And hooking it up to your PC, I've also done it where I also played Dungeons and Dragons with some of my friends, and what I ended up doing was I made this great desktop with my books on the screen. I had my main screen with the maps and everything. We used Fantasy Grounds. And then I had just like Google stuff like, hey, can a character do this on another section? And it was glorious. It felt so nice to play that way. Frankly, if I could, I would hook it up to my work computer for work stuff because it just gets you completely out of normal world and you can focus on just your virtual world. I absolutely love it. Uh-oh. I lost my tethers. Oh god. Where did I put those things? Well, that was weird. So I lost my tethers. Oh, there they are. So first thing I'm going to do, let's go ahead and grab the tethers, put them on here. Alright. I kind of wish... So, Trish, do you know... Can you actually upgrade your backpack on here to where you can carry more items? Or do you just have to get like the tractor and the trailer to do that? It's so nice having somebody who's got always the same size. Darn. It's always so nice to have somebody who's got so much time on this game, so that you can ask questions like that. And I'm sorry if I seem like ridiculous asking things like that, because I'm the one streaming, so you'd think that I would know. But like I said, fairly new getting back into gaming, so please don't judge. So if you like things like this, do you also like Stardew Valley, things like that, or do you prefer something a little more advanced in the graphics department? You love games like this. So is it like the survival aspect, or is it the graphical style where it's kind of cartoony? Because I absolutely love this art style. I think they did really well with it. The gameplay, yeah. I agree. The gameplay is super fun. Um, so in Australia, do you do a slow and steady sense of progression? Yes, you feel like you're doing something, but you're not rushing to it. Is that what you like? Because that's something I am totally into on this game, where I don't feel like I have to like speed into anything, but at the same time, I'm exploring, I'm expanding my base. Yeah, I know for when I'm playing with my wife on Minecraft, she loves making just these beautiful environments. You should hop on when I'm playing Minecraft sometime. A lot of times I'll play with my wife and son, and my wife has designed just such an awesome world. She's got this good eye for what goes well together, and she has made some awesome stuff. She's just made things so beautiful there. It's something that I'm not gonna lie, I'm not great at when it comes to making things pretty. I'm a little more analytical. I wish I was a little more artistic in the way that I make things look. But man, she does a great job at making it look great. Yeah, what I'm interested in seeing is when they start putting like the crypto worlds, like Earth 2, things like that. And they start making those into more games like this, where you can build your own equipment and kind of make your own style of things. I'm gonna go ahead and grab one of these pieces of zinc. And let's make that boost mod. I always find it fun to have that on sitting on your equipment. It makes things a little more interesting. I know it's required, but I think it's really cool looking too when you're like, hey, I've got this mod on here and it's specifically for this tool. Oh, the PSVR 2, that should be really cool. I'm interested to see it as well. So do you purely do, so do you have Quest and PlayStation VR right now then? Wow, you're rolling heavy on those things. That's pretty awesome, Trish. I haven't heard all of the specs, but the one thing I would assume is that are they upgrading the resolution on it and trying to get some better FPS out of it, because I know one of the things I've read a lot. I haven't run into it too much actually, but issues with some screen stutter, things like that, where it makes people nauseous. Luckily for me, I haven't run into it in my VR experience. But oh man, after playing for a while, you can see where that would cause a major, major issue. Because it's hard enough when everything's working perfect. Where I mean, you do get a little dazed and confused every once in a while, but I couldn't imagine trying to get through while having stuttering, things like that. Luckily, I've got a pretty solid rig. I just built myself a new gaming rig, and I had to Frankenstein it, sadly, where I used a pre-built, and I was very disappointed that my pre-built doesn't come with a USB-C. Right now I'm saving up for a new motherboard so I can get the USB-C going, and then get myself connected with a USB-C. I know there's been a lot of talk on playing wirelessly. Have you had any experience going wirelessly on, or actually I guess on your Rift you can't go wireless, but I know on the Quest 2 they were talking about the ability to play wirelessly on your computer, and that's something I'm really looking forward to, because sometimes it can be just a pain. To be wired in. Oh dang, they're going OLED on it too? That's gonna be awesome. I'm interested if it's gonna live up to it. That's my only concern. When it comes to PlayStation, I've still got a bit of a bad taste in my mouth from the way they were about crossplay and things like that. So I'm still a little cranky about that, but I definitely give them the benefit of the doubt. I've seen them do some amazing things. I actually bought the PS3 right off the bat because they had the Blu-ray player with it too. I think they have a really good eye on what's next in technology. I think Xbox seems to do a better job for the players. I think Sony ends up being better when it comes to the technology side. I'll be very interested to see how things go with their HDR. Because HDR is something where I've seen it done well, I've seen it done poorly. When I had an LG TV, I wasn't super happy with their HDR. And eye tracking, nice. So something I'm working on the side is a virtual pinball machine. And for the virtual pinball machine, I want to use an Xbox Kinect. Wow, Trish, you really know your stuff when it comes to the way VR works and the technology side of things. I always get a little bit of a scoop. My brother is actually an electrical engineer, and he gives me some heads up on different things coming out sometimes when he's allowed to. The hard part with some of these companies is he's not always allowed to. But I'd be tempted to ask him what he knows about it, because I bet he'd have some good info on what they're doing with that and how they're making it work. My biggest worry would be the amount of processing it takes, and could the PlayStation keep up with all of that? Because the PlayStation's really going to have to drive the VR. And that would really only be that would be my main concern. Can the PlayStation itself keep up with the VR requirements? A single cable, that would make sense. I think when the initial VR came out from PlayStation, that it was just a little too much in its infancy. But that's something PlayStation has always been really good about. They're on the cutting edge of where technology can be. So on a game like this, do you play this VR as well? Or is this something you play normally and then you use VR strictly for straight up VR games? Well, if you're hooked up to your computer, you can play it windowed, but it's just not the same. Okay, you only use VR for VR games. And I mean, that makes sense. If you ever feel so bold, try. Do you play on console or PC? I'm assuming you play on PC since you've got a Rift. A bit of both. So when you're playing Astroneers, is that on PC or what are you playing that on? A mid-tier and a PS5. I completely hear ya. Astroneers on PC. So something fun that I'll do sometimes when I just want to get away from the world. I don't know if you have kids or anything, but sometimes it's nice to be completely cut off, and I'll throw on my VR headset and I'll play windowed into my VR headset, and then, oh, you're 16. Ha! Never mind. You probably don't have a kid, and if you do, absolutely no judgments here, but So, anyways, if you, I know when I was 16, I just wanted to kind of get away from my parents too. So, if you ever just want to get cut off from everything in the world, try setting up your VR experience where where you've got a desktop set up. Oh, that's kind of cool. Tethers. Oh, there's my other exo chip. There we go. So, if you ever want to get cut off from the rest of the world, go ahead and set up a desktop experience with multiple monitors. And you can have like 3 monitors going. You can have Netflix going. You can have this game going, a little bit of that going too. And it just makes it a little nicer to be completely cut off sometimes. I know I run into that a bit. And if you're having fun on this chat, also, please feel free to follow. I'm always happy to have some. Same hepatic technology. Oh, that is awesome. That is one of my favorite things about the PS5 that I think is missing on the Series X. I'm kind of a Microsoft fanboy. I'm not gonna lie. I follow Microsoft a whole lot, but I think that dual sense that they've got going and that haptic feedback is just awesome. I think that's something that playing Xbox you're missing out a little bit. Now I don't have a PS5, so I want to know, is that completely worth it? Is that a game changer to you? Yeah, when I'm not streaming, I spend a lot of time where I'm actually just sitting around and watching, I watch a lot of Netflix while I game, whenever I'm not streaming. It's probably something I'll end up getting because I'm a complete technology nerd. Basically, if I can get a new technology, I'll get it. So I gotta know, do you have any pointers for me on Astroneers? Is there anything that I'm missing out on while I'm playing where you're like, man, I can't believe you're not taking such and such step? Is there anything that I'm just not being smart about on this game? Because I feel like I'm starting to get it. Between Sandwood... No. Are you serious? They really make... Oh. You're gonna get me to spend another $500 because I'm gonna want that. That is a great idea. Thank you. This is one of the reasons I absolutely love streaming, because people can give me good ideas that are going to help me be better at the game that I'm playing. I gotta say, trying to find lithium and trying to find laterite are discouraging in this game. I'm not even gonna lie. It drives me nuts sometimes. I will go through cave after cave and just find nothing useful. And it drives me absolutely nuts. Looks like I'm out of power, so let's go ahead and build a small solar. Yep. Where's my copper at? I think it's over here. Resistance. So I gotta know the adaptive triggers. Is that on the PS5 too? Because I haven't heard much talk about it, but that sounds absolutely amazing. Okay, well, thanks. You just got me to spend another $500, that's for sure. Oh, I need the sun to come out. Vibration in the headset itself. Next thing you know, we're gonna have not only are they gonna do eventually, I'm waiting for them to have the hepatic vest too, so that you feel absolutely everything. I think that's going to be awesome. This daylight cycle is taking forever. Let's go ahead and do a better medium platform. gotta say, I'm just glad that I found somebody else who enjoys this game. Truthfully, if I was in streaming for, hey, I want to make money or something like that, this game would not be the one to do. Because it just doesn't have the same following, but just being able to see somebody else enjoys the game, I think that that's awesome. Any tips for finding some laterite? Because from what I've found, it's kind of a pain to get. And then I'm gonna have to go to the foothills a little bit to see if I can't find a good source of clay so I can make some ceramic. Second level of caves. Alright, thank you for that info. I'll go ahead and have to look for that. First, I'd really like to find some clay. See if there's anything over here. Gonna have to find some more TNT until I can make it myself. So I don't suffocate again. Whew. I have a terrible trend of just dying in these games. It's one of the things I typically do when I'm playing Minecraft is I'll get hit by a creeper or something like that and just get my butt whooped. So I'm trying to be a little better. My son's actually he loves doing artwork. I've talked to him about putting an art piece right about here of me getting killed by a creeper. I think that would be a whole lot of fun. So I'm assuming in your world, Trish, you've got some awesome stuff built. I bet you've got one heck of a base at this point. And Trish, this is going to be probably one of my games for the month. If you want to follow, go ahead, feel free. I'll be playing this quite a bit. I do a lot of Minecraft, and every once in a while I'll hop in and play some first-person shooters, things like that. Oh, well, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. It's amazing. Every once in a while that works out. You like to start fresh every now and then. I hear you on that. I'm notorious for starting fresh a little too much. I think I need to, every once in a while, I need to just get into a world and go for it. And that's something I try and do when I stream. I do like a streaming world and then my normal play world. And I found that streaming gets me to play a little longer without refreshing. But like I said, the main theme of the stream is just getting comfortable with some issues I have with myself. So I always enjoy having other people here because I'm really uncomfortable in my own skin a lot of times. And having somebody else here to talk to makes it a little easier, truthfully. Yeah, I love a good chill game, and this is definitely hitting the spot with that. Where I can just hang out and have fun. There's no stress to it. There's just enough difficulty where I feel like if I mess up, I could die. But it's not enough to really give you anxiety about it, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I like playing a first-person shooter. I'll actually probably end up doing that tomorrow night with a couple of buddies in my neighborhood. But I don't like playing them too often because they get me uppity. I get nervous. I feel like I need to not mess up. There's a lot of pressure to it, so Yeah, I think one of my favorite things about this game is just going around and seeing what's on this alien planet. Now you gotta go all the way back. It's gonna be a long, long journey. And Trish, because it is getting late for me and I don't know how much longer I'm going to play, I do want to thank you again for letting me know that my mic wasn't working. Because there is nothing more ridiculous than sitting there talking to yourself when nobody can hear a thing you're saying. So thanks again for that. Much appreciated. And at this point, we've only got 10 more people to go until we reach our goal of 30 followers. And then we'll just keep going from there and try and build up as much as we can to build a nice community here. Eventually, we'll get a Discord going and just have a lot of fun with things and chat about things. One of my other followers, he is also from Australia. So you guys can talk Australian things. I gotta look it up because I gotta know if it's an everybody thing or just a my crazy friends thing. So, looking for this. Okay. Vegemite. Do you enjoy Vegemite? Is that a thing for you? Or is that just for some of the people that I know? I gotta know if that's... You do. So is it really like just like concentrated B12 that looks like a turd on a toast, like, it is the most wild thing I've ever seen, and I mean no disrespect at all, but it looks so gross. Like, what does it taste like? I gotta know. Oh, it definitely does not look appealing. Savory and salty. So is it almost like putting gravy on your bread? Or is it like almost like a soy sauce salty? And I'm sorry because I'm not sure which one you could say that to. Between soy sauce and gravy, you know, I would probably absolutely love that. My buddy, I think he's probably gonna send me some. He talked about it, and I am really excited to try it now. Would you recommend regular bread, or should I toast it? And would I want to put butter on the toast before I put the Vegemite on, or is Vegemite plenty by itself? Any bread will do. With buttered. Okay, so if my buddy ever sends it to me, I'm gonna butter the toast, and then I'm gonna put some Vegemite on it. I will eat it on camera because it's supposed to be delightful, from what I've been told. And we are gonna make it happen at some point. My buddy's gonna send it to me. We're gonna try it out. It's gonna be absolutely delightful. And all of you are gonna get to see it here first when I try it. And I will give my honest review. Even though I've got friends who like it, things like that, I will give my honest review and say either, yeah, this is pretty good stuff, or holy cow, I don't understand how the Aussies like this, which is always a possibility. When I was over in Afghanistan and Kuwait, the Australians, they like what they like, and it's kind of like there's some things that I would have that an Australian would be like, what in the world is your problem? And frankly, I think that makes life a little cooler, that not everybody is going to like the same things. So just so you know, Trish, Lucky, if you hear this later, and Trey, if you hear it later, I am not judging you in the least. But it's one of those things where I'm going to put my trust in you, but I'm not going to promise that I'm not going to puke it up. I still respect you, and I appreciate you, but there is a good chance that it could be nasty to me. Alright, let's see. Need to get some iron. Some iron? Looks like there's nothing there. I think it's about that time, folks. I really appreciate, especially you, Trish. Thanks for joining tonight. I hope things are going well. I promise you at some point I'm going to eat some Vegemite and you are going to be able to see my reaction to Vegemite. And who knows, maybe I'm going to be like, wow, this is the greatest thing I've ever had. And I really hope that is my response to it. But thanks for joining me from down under. And I hope everybody has a wonderful night. Thank you so much. And have a great night. And I'll be seeing you probably tomorrow. I think I'll be playing with some of the guys that I hang out with in my neighborhood. So we might be doing a little Fortnite or something like that. Maybe a different shooting game. But thanks again. Have a wonderful night and take care of yourselves.